To argue with a fool is to agree to play a game where the rules are written by insanity. You cannot win, because the fool does not seek truth. They do not seek resolution. They seek a reaction. Every time you raise your voice to defend your intelligence, you are inherently proving that you lack it. The most dangerous trap in human psychology is the illusion that every insult must be answered and every argument must be won. We are conditioned by a fragile, insecure society to believe that silence equals defeat. That if someone disrespects you, you must immediately strike back with words. But in the brutal arena of reality, words are incredibly cheap. Words are the weapon of the frantic, the emotional, and the weak. To engage with a fool is to voluntarily step into the mud. You may think you are educating them. You may believe your pristine logic will pierce their ignorance. But you are completely wrong. The fool does not process logic. The fool only processes emotion, conflict, and chaos. When you argue with them, you are not teaching them a lesson. You are feeding their pathetic addiction to drama. You are stepping down off your throne to fight a peasant in the dirt. And the exact moment you do this, you have already lost. The true master of human behavior understands a fundamental law of Stoicism. You cannot control the irrationality of the external world, but you possess absolute, unbreakable sovereignty over your own internal response. True dominance is not the ability to outshout a fool in a crowded room. It is the supreme, cold discipline to let them choke on their own noise. To destroy a fool, you do not need to raise your volume. You do not need to devise a clever, cutting insult. You only need to weaponize the one thing they fear the absolute most. You must weaponize silence. Welcome to Noble Habit. Today, we deconstruct the architecture of emotional dominance. We will explore the 4 dark truths of using weaponized silence to utterly dismantle a fool. The first dark truth is the trap of energetic transference. Everything in human interaction is an exchange of energy. The fool operates on a remarkably low frequency. They are driven by unresolved anger, blinding ego, and a desperate need to feel significant. Because they cannot elevate themselves to your level of intellect or calm, their only strategy is to drag you down to theirs. They are emotional vampires. When a fool attacks you with an irrational argument or a baseless insult, they are throwing out a psychological hook. They are praying that you bite. The moment you respond, the moment you attempt to defend your character or explain your position, the energetic cord is connected. You have willingly plugged your high-functioning mental operating system into their chaotic, malware-infected grid. Your heart rate elevates. Your focus fractures. You begin to feel their irrational anger bleeding into your own veins. You are literally transferring your valuable energy, your time, and your peace directly into their psychological bank account. But silence is the ultimate severing of that cord. When you choose to look at a screaming fool and offer absolutely nothing in return, the energetic transfer fails. Their chaos has nowhere to land. Their anger hits a brick wall of absolute stoicism and bounces directly back into their own mind. By refusing to engage, you conserve your energy while they rapidly deplete theirs. You sit in perfect stillness while they exhaust themselves swinging blindly in the dark. You do not fight them. You simply let their own toxic energy consume them from the inside out. The second dark truth is the vacuum of the psychological mirror. Human beings are fundamentally terrified of a void. We use noise to distract ourselves from our own insecurities. The fool uses aggressive words as a shield to hide the fact that they are deeply inadequate. When they yell, or mock, or argue, they expect resistance. Resistance validates them. It proves that you see them as a worthy opponent. But when you deploy absolute, weaponized silence, you remove the resistance. You create a massive, suffocating psychological vacuum. Imagine the scenario. The fool makes their ridiculous claim. They throw their insult. Instead of reacting, you simply look them dead in the eyes. You do not blink. You do not frown. You offer a completely blank, unreadable expression. You just let the silence hang in the air like a heavy fog. Without your words to push against, the fool instantly loses their balance. They stumble into the void you just created. Within seconds, the silence stops being empty and transforms into a psychological mirror. Because you are giving them nothing, they are forced to confront the echo of their own stupid words. The silence becomes deafening. Their insecure mind will immediately begin to panic. They will start to wonder what you are thinking. They will assume your silence means you are judging them. They will begin to babble. They will over-explain. They will rapidly backpedal and contradict themselves, all in a desperate attempt to fill the dead air that is crushing their ego. You do not need to lift a single finger to destroy them. You simply hold the mirror of silence and watch as they tear themselves apart under the weight of their own insecurity. The third dark truth is the architecture of unpredictability. In the brutal game of human dynamics, control is born entirely from leverage. And leverage is born from information. The more someone knows about you, the easier you are to manipulate. When you argue with a fool, you are handing them the blueprint to your mind. In your anger, you reveal exactly what offends you. In your passionate defense, you reveal exactly what you value. You are showing them the exact levers to pull to make you lose your temper in the future. You are making yourself a known variable. And being predictable is the exact same thing as being vulnerable. The quiet mind, however, is a locked fortress. By withholding your verbal reactions, you remain entirely unpredictable. The fool throws an insult, and it vanishes into the dark abyss of your silence. They do not know if you are angry. They do not know if you are amused. They do not know if you are plotting their absolute ruin. This unpredictability breeds a very specific type of dark, quiet intimidation. People naturally fear what they cannot categorize. When a fool cannot figure out how to trigger you, their false confidence shatters. They begin to treat you with a profound, cautious respect, simply because they realize they are entirely out of their depth. You become an unsolvable puzzle. Let them project whatever illusion they want onto your silence. Let them think you are arrogant. Let them think you are dangerously calculating. It does not matter what story they invent in their own fragile minds, as long as the truth of your strategy remains safely hidden behind an impenetrable wall of quiet. The fourth and final dark truth is the ultimate disrespect of non-engagement. Society tells us that the ultimate victory is having the last word. That dominance is standing over your defeated opponent after intellectually crushing them. But dark Stoicism teaches a much colder truth. True dominance, true apex power, is realizing that the opponent was never worthy of the battle in the first place. When you argue with a fool, even if you win the argument, you have elevated them to the status of a peer. You have acknowledged that their opinion mattered enough for you to waste your breath dismantling it. But absolute silence is the ultimate form of psychological disrespect. It is a silent declaration that their words carry zero weight in your reality. It communicates, without a single sound, that they are entirely irrelevant. Think of a king walking through the courtyard. A beggar spits at his feet and shouts insults. Does the king stop to debate the beggar? Does he draw his sword to prove his dominance? No. He does not even break his stride. He does not even turn his head. Because to acknowledge the beggar is to validate the beggar's existence. The king's silence, his complete non-engagement, is what truly destroys the beggar's ego. You must adopt this exact mental framework. When a fool attempts to drag you into their chaotic reality, you must become the apex observer. You look at them, not with anger, and not with fear, but with the cold, detached curiosity of a scientist observing a frantic insect. You realize that participating in their drama is a massive downgrade to your own mental operating system. You protect your peace because your peace is the absolute source of your power. So, the next time you are confronted by a fool, the next time you feel that sudden, overwhelming urge to correct their stupidity or defend your pride, stop, take a slow breath, detach yourself from the emotion of the moment, step back into the dark, quiet shadows of your own mind. Do not give them the gift of your words. Do not give them the map to your emotional state. Simply look at them. Let the silence fall heavy over the room. Let them expose their own weakness. Let them drown in the terrifying vacuum of your non-reaction. You do not need to fight for control when you are the one writing the rules of the game. Master your silence. Cultivate your mental fortitude. Because when the frantic noise of the fool finally fades into nothingness, the only thing left standing, the only thing left to fear, is the one who never spoke at all.